Hello, I finished my sketchbook, so you know what that means. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna get right into it. So I started it, I had a funny day, at least I assume so. I forgot to write it down and then I just like guessed the day. I only had 2 goals for the sketchbook because my last sketchbook, like I feel like I improved a lot and stuff, but I was very stiff and I didn't have as much fun as I could have. So those were my only 2 goals, was to have fun with it. And then I went even further and said I wasn't allowed to post anything from it until it was done, which I kind of followed. I mostly followed, but yeah. First page, it's Carmen and Zach, my OCs that I talk about a lot. Just wanted to get the first page over with, so I think I went straight in with pen here. But yeah, I just was kind of recovering from a really bad like art block and relationship with art. So I just like wanted to just start it. Alright, this is a whole page of Zach because I realized I didn't draw him as much as Carmen, which I figured wasn't that fair. So I drew him a bunch. This is Carmen and Zach eating sushi. I covered up some ugly drawings with these stickers I got from Amazon. This is a redraw of an old Batman and Joker drawing that I did that I absolutely hate, but it has the most attention I've ever gotten on Instagram. I'll put up a picture somewhere of that drawing, but yeah, Batman and Joker. I'm not really into them anymore, sorry. This is me. This is supposed to be me and my best pal. It's based off of the song, the one song that was super popular in like 2020. What's it called? It's like, I think it's called Space Girl. My character's mentioned Damien, which I just made a video about. Go watch that video. This is when I first made their newer designs, you know, their older designs. I really loved them. I still do. I started getting really into just like filling the space with just random doodles. More Joker. I was still feeling kind of stiff with my drawing, so I was just like, I'm just gonna draw Joker because that's what I'm in the mood for. Carmen and his dogs. Yeah, I just wanted to find out more like about how he would dress, and I'm still not quite sure. I mainly just throw him in a hoodie and call it good. And this is a drawing. This is Carmen and Zach again. This is the Pride Speed Paint I did, which is also on my channel. You should go watch it. I don't know, I just decided to draw them in like kind of 70s, 80s style, I guess, with the 70s Pride flag behind them. This is supposed to be Steve Harrington and Eddie Munson, except like I messed up a lot with the line art, so they look kind of goofy. I feel like every artist, most artists had a weird obsession with them. Just drew them. Drawings my friend did. This is around my Stranger Things, not really obsession, but I really liked Stranger Things, so. Byers, Mike. This is a cute little doodle that I did. And also this is when I got really into filling out the space with random doodles. Especially when I just filled the space with doodles. More Steve Harrington and Eddie Munson. Steve Harrington, Eddie Munson, random doodles. My best pal. I took a picture of him and then drew it. It's him again in his silly little outfit. Plus, he ruined the shirt and I'm so sad. I wanted to steal it. Some Yoshi characters from that one show, Dead End Paranormal Park. Very awesome show. Feel free to like pause it and look at the silly whatever I put in all the margins and stuff. Some Bluey because I think the 2nd season came out, so I wanted to draw the silly guys. And more Eddie Munson. I was coping because of the season 4 ending. I didn't like it. Yeah. Bingo. More Eddie Munson and Steve Harrington. I think at this point, I was posting on like TikTok and stuff and just like getting attention off these guys. Ended up stopped drawing them because I felt like it was too like forced and stuff. Steve Harrington, I like that drawing. It's pretty nice. And I like this page. I drew this more for myself than anything else. Characters again, Carmen and Zach, except that kind of looks like Owen. More of them, some cute doodles. Look at this. So like this flips out, and shows some lore. And then I decided if anyone tried to like look under, Random character design. I was watching a lot of Adventure Time around this time, so kind of looks like Finn a little bit with the hat, but yeah, it's just a fun little character design. Yep, and I was I was watching Adventure Time, so I just did some doodles. I feel like I definitely was going through a bit of an art block. Some more, and more Carmen and Zach. I wanted to turn this into a speed paint, and then I hated it, so it didn't happen. Yep, this was definitely when I was going through an art block, when I felt like I was really stuck in my art, and I felt really stiff, which was, you know, the exact opposite of what I wanted. So I just did pencil sketches, some silly guys, more random people. I think this is silly. And then Zach in an outfit I found off of Pinterest, which I like this drawing. It felt very like not stiff and just like a silly doodle. And then more Zach on the side. And there's like a more kind of realistic style of Zach, I guess. Some face studies I messed up on a bit. And then just a whole bunch of figure studies I got off of, what's it called? Line of Action. I'm quite proud of these. I think this is the first time I sat down and actually did like genuine figure studies. But for some reason, instead of doing like pencil, which you can erase with, I did marker, which maybe doesn't sound too outlandish to you. But like, for the first time ever doing figure studies, I probably should have done a pencil, which I think I do from now on. I like this one a lot, and this one, and that one's alright, and that one I like. And I did some face studies, which is when I realized not to use marker while you practice, because like, I can erase and fix things. I just had to go with it, and I messed up a whole bunch. And then these are some hand studies, which I like still. I watched Friends again, that's all I'm gonna say. Continue watching Adventure Time, which I liked a lot, and I try to do it in my style. Like Jake over here, he looks silly. The scary deer thing. At this point, I think I was on, no. Yeah, around this time I was on vacation, so I wasn't coloring too much. I was kind of just going straight in with markers. So Zach, he's just a silly guy. I did Carmen, so because you know, they're in the same universe, so I misspelled his name, Sanos. A random character design I did, again, I was on vacation, so I just did this pencil. Alright, and then randomly I decided to start working on Owen, James, and Jay's world, which I don't know if you know them, but they're my other OCs who live in a kind of, not necessarily post-apocalyptic, but there's just weird creatures there. This creepy looking design I did, it's like a deer with another set of arms, I guess, so I thought that was cool. And this weird duck looking thing. I think I went straight into marker with this, so just having fun with it. This is James, so I kind of redesigned him a bit because he used to like have a box on his head, but I decided to make him like a weird monster hunter with masks and stuff, but not necessarily a monster hunter. He's kind of like, he hunts them down, sure, but he doesn't kill them. So this is just a monster that my sister had me design. She was like, do a Cyclops alien underwater creature, and I was like, okay, and then I did it, and then I watercolored it later on. I really like it. I think it's pretty sick, and I made some lore for it over here. It can live in deep sea, but it can also go, like, okay, maybe this doesn't make any sense in like the actual real world, but whatever, it's make-believe. So it lives underwater, right? It can go deep sea, but if it wants to chase down prey or just take a stroll, it can go onto land, and it tears its tail apart to form more legs, right? And then it can walk around on its split apart tail, like as its legs. When it goes back into the water, I haven't decided yet, but it could stitch itself back together, whether it's just something that its body does, or if it takes like an actual like needle and thread and sews it together itself. I don't know which one's creepier, but I think it's cool. Anyway, another weird creature thing. And then my other characters, Owen and Jay. James drawing. I accidentally squashed a bug with my pages of my book. Whoops. And then there's all the guys together being best friends. And then I started watching The Amazing World of Gumball a lot, so I just drew them really quick. I like this Darwin, he's goofy. And then this is another speed paint I did that's on my channel. You should go watch it. Yeah, I wanted to just draw Carmen with his dogs. These are all their dogs. I think he has 5, yeah. And then these are some other characters I made for this like zombie apocalypse story. They're like super old. They're from like 2020, and I haven't drawn them since, but I redesigned them. They look super silly and cute. Boris and Anthony, I think, and Antoine. Yeah, something like that. And some doodles I did of like of rats with religious imagery. Whoops. Zach and Carmen. This is me, it's supposed to be me and my best friend. And more, just some pencil sketch. Alright, sorry, my phone died and then I decided to make dinner, I guess. But I don't know what I was talking about, but this is you know, just drawings of Zach and Carmen, just some lore-based stuff. I was experimenting with Zach's design, like how he would dress. Gaze, whoops. Yeah, just a lot of experimenting with Zach, and you know, a bit of watercolor for once. I haven't done that in a while. More Zach. I kind of hate this page, to be honest. I did some studies of people in class, but I kind of hated them, and that's my friend Bryce. He stood very still for his picture, or his drawing, or whatever. And then he made me draw this character, Mad Rat. I don't know much about that guy, but yeah. And then I just drew a bunch of rats to fill the space. So I was really bored with this sketchbook, I guess. I just decided to hole punch the pages. And this is where it gets pretty sick. I did some acrylic practices, I guess. And then this is my character. I like this. I'm proud of it for a first time trying to do like a cartoony style with it. I used the page as like a, what's it called? A palette, so yeah. Then I was gonna draw my best, or paint my best friend again, but then I ended up getting lazy and I didn't necessarily mess up on his face. I just didn't want to finish it, so. And then more Adventure Time stuff. This is Marceline and Ice King. More Zach and Carmen. And then Inktober #1, I kind of went all out for it. I don't quite know why, but I like it. Lore-based stuff for Zach and Carmen's story. Carmen with a bat. I drew Carmen and his gruncle, I guess, going scallop fishing. Flame Princess for my flower characters in a bouquet. I got really like kind of obsessed with those flower characters. I drew them a lot. I think they're really cute and I like them. And then I decided to make a world for the flower characters. They live like underground in this windmill. I've made continuations of this page. There's 7 I had fun with. Trip, like Zach and Carmen High or something. Their side profiles match, I guess. Crabby, and so I drew this little crab guy who I like. He's a silly guy. And then I watched Over the Garden Wall. It is so good. I loved it so much. It was a very, very good show. Yeah, I did a bunch of figure drawings, again with line of action, but this time it was not dogs, it was just animals. Again, I just went straight in with marker, which again is a bit of a mistake because you can't like erase and fix your mistakes, so. This dog looks silly. I'm not usually good at drawing cats, but this one's alright. And I always love rats, so. Inktober 15, I like this one. It's like an armadillo creature. That's Jay, he's all spooked like. What's his name? I drew Zach. His favorite dog, Boris. I haven't told you the names of the dogs, but yeah, that's Boris, his favorite dog. I did a bunch of studies of the type of dog that Boris is, which is a Borzoi. Yeah, just a whole bunch of Borzoi studies. This isn't necessarily where the sketchbook starts to go downhill. It's just like where I stopped caring as much, which isn't necessarily a bad thing all the time, but Inktober 17, I kind of gave up around now because I hated the prompts. They were stupid in my opinion. Here were some face studies. I gave up, I guess. And then this was me experimenting with gouache. This is Finch. He looks a bit like pink orange here, but I think it's not too bad for a first time. Carmen and Zach, I did like a little mini comic of like an interaction they would have. Cheesy gay stuff. If you want to pause it and try to decipher my handwriting, you can. And then I started this page off with drawing like a pose that my friend did while he was playing volleyball. I drew it, and then I just decided to just do more random poses, and then I put like little sketches of me. And this is a drawing my friend did. I did this in Spanish class, I think. A lot of these I just like sketched in school because I was bored. And then another interaction, little comic thing. You can try to read that if you want. I love this scene, to be honest. I don't know if I'll make it canon, but I just like the idea of it, I guess. So I drew some My Singing Monsters, which I've been pretty obsessed with recently. And it was my birthday. I had a good birthday. It was pretty awesome. Just had a whole bunch of fun. I think this guy looks goofy. I drew this guy. This guy's from Pinterest. I drew more Damien. I think this was late at night. I was just doodling. And then another like kind of sadder Damien and Finch, which I might digitalize if I want to, but yeah. And then this is them when they're younger. This is like their older designs that I made. But yeah, these are the older designs if they were happy and they loved each other. That's me. I made this because like it was a scene that was kind of stuck in my head and I like imagined a lot, so I just decided I decided to just like scribble down like the main point, like plot of the argument, I guess, and I started to line it. I gave up because my marker started to run out. And there's just a continuation. This is another speed speed paint talk and draw I did on my channel that you should totally go and watch. I think it's my latest video before this one. Just them being best pals, not hating each other at all. And then I started watching Breaking Bad, which I like a lot. But yeah, I drew some Jesse Pinkman. He's just a funny guy. I drew this because it's something my friends say a lot. They go, "Dresser, we got a gay makeout dresser." And I think it is funny, but I don't ship them or nothing. Yeah, just some Jesse. Season like 1 and 2 Jesse. Gay Jesse. Mr. White worrying about Jesse Pinkman's health because he binds too long. Jesse Pinkman just being sad. And then this is a drawing my friend did of Walter White and like a weird pumpkin thing. This is a funny story. A lot of the drawings I do are usually in class because I get really bored or really like tired and it's the only way I'll stay awake. And at this point I was drawing and I couldn't, like literally could not stay awake. I don't know what was wrong with me. I was just trying to draw my guy and I kept falling asleep, like literally nodding off mid-drawing. The same thing was happening with this. I was trying to stay awake by drawing and then like my pencil would drift. You see all these lines going off the page because I was literally falling asleep. I'm sorry, but that's how boring her class is. I'm so sorry. And this is like a live reenactment of what happened. And then this is a drawing of like a Carmen looking fella. I don't know if it is Carmen. And then I drew all of my characters on the same page. All of my like most prevalent characters that I work on. Very neat page. And then I drew that one scene of Jesse Pinkman just being all sad. I thought that scene was so awesome. Just him crying and sobbing in suit and like crying and sobbing in the freaking like porta potty juice. It was gross, but it's funny. And also the marker bled through. More Jesse Pinkman being all sad and stuff. And then I drew this thing. It's like Jesse Pinkman with really huge pants and he's like, it fits like a glove because that's how he acts. Mr. White, and then Jesse Pinkman and Mr. White hugging because they're sad. Bender, Mr. White. These were some more studies of like birds. I made this little bird guy based off of this fluffy chicken. I was like, what a guy. So I made a little original character. I like this one. And this is Zach and Carmen. I didn't feel like lining it, but I still wanted to color it, so that's what I did. So this is watercolor. This is them when they're younger. Like, I don't know how young, because they don't look too young, but they're supposed to be like 13, 14 at most. This is just another little interaction comic that I did. Look how unfinished this last thing is, but still cute. Some hand studies and just a bunch of dog studies that were super rushed because again I had like that timer thing. And then this is a redraw of the first page. Finished it November 6th, so it took me about 6 or 7 months. Said I got 84% complete. I don't know how I did the math, but that's what it is. Sadly, we've come to an end. I can go over the stickers really quick. My best friend got me this from, I forgot where he went. He went to some major city, but I got this from Hermosa Beach. I got that from a package I bought. I got this from my history teacher. This from Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri. And this from Hermosa Beach in California. These are a bunch of Dutch Bro stickers. I don't know if you can really buy them from anywhere. They just hand them out every first of the month, so that's where you can only get them. Yep, that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed. I tried my best to sound like not tired and stuff, but I don't know if I succeeded. I promise you I'm not trying to sound unenthusiastic. That's just my voice, but yeah. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. I had a lot of fun filming this time. This is actually like my 3rd take because I just felt like I sounded too boring and stuff, but again, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a good day and stuff, so go draw something if you haven't already. Bye, have a nice day.